Have you ever wondered what it takes to not just live longer, but to thrive well into your 70s, 80s, and even past 100? If you're over 70, researchers have uncovered 5 key habits that could help you reach the century mark, and the surprising truth is that most people unknowingly stop doing them, cutting years off their lives. Stick around until the end to discover these 5 simple, yet powerful behaviors that separate the world's longest-lived people from everyone else, and learn practical action steps you can start today to invest in a healthier, longer, and more vibrant future. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. They move naturally, not obsessively. The first and perhaps most striking characteristic of centenarians, those who thrive well into their 100s, particularly in blue zones like Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Ikaria, Greece, and Loma Linda, California, is their seamless integration of physical activity into daily life. Unlike the modern fitness culture that emphasizes structured workouts, gym memberships, or extreme endurance challenges like marathons, centenarians don't approach movement as a task to check off a to-do list. Instead, their lives are designed to keep them in constant, low-intensity motion through activities that are both practical and deeply embedded in their cultural and environmental contexts. This natural approach to movement is not about achieving a certain physique or hitting performance metrics. It's simply how they live, and it's a key driver of their extraordinary longevity. Consider the daily routines of centenarians in these blue zones. In Sardinia, for instance, shepherds traverse rugged hillsides for miles each day, guiding their flocks across rocky terrain without considering it exercise. In Okinawa, older adults tend small gardens, growing vegetables like goya, bittermelon, or sweet potatoes, which involve squatting, bending, and light lifting. In Nicoya, residents walk to local markets or carry water from wells, while in Ikaria, people climb steep village paths to visit neighbors or gather wild herbs. These activities are purposeful, often tied to survival, community, or tradition, and they engage the body in ways that promote functional fitness without the strain of high-intensity workouts. Even in Loma Linda, where Seventh-day Adventists emphasize health, daily walks or light chores like sweeping are common among the longest-lived residents. The science behind this approach is compelling. Low-intensity, consistent movement has been shown to improve cardiovascular health, enhance balance, and strengthen bones and muscles, all of which are critical for maintaining independence in old age. A 2019 study in The Lancet Public Health found that older adults who engage in regular, moderate physical activity, such as walking or gardening, have a 24% lower risk of mortality compared to their sedentary peers. This type of movement also supports joint health, reduces the risk of falls, a leading cause of injury in older adults, and promotes mental well-being by releasing endorphins and reducing stress hormones. Unlike intense exercise, which can sometimes lead to injury or burnout, natural movement is sustainable over a lifetime, making it a cornerstone of longevity. Moreover, these activities often occur outdoors, exposing centenarians to fresh air, sunlight, and nature, which provide additional benefits like vitamin D synthesis and improved mood. The social aspect of their movement, whether it's chatting with neighbors during a walk or working alongside family in the garden, further enhances their mental and emotional health, creating a virtuous cycle of physical and psychological resilience. Your action step: to emulate the centenarian's approach, rethink physical activity as something that flows naturally from your daily routine rather than a separate, time-consuming obligation. Start by identifying opportunities to move more throughout your day. For example, walk or bike to nearby destinations like the grocery store, post office, or a friend's house instead of driving. If you work in an office, take the stairs instead of the elevator, or stand up to stretch every 30 to 60 minutes. If you have access to outdoor space, try gardening, raking leaves, or even planting a small herb garden, which provides both physical activity and the satisfaction of growing your own food. For urban dwellers, incorporate active commuting by walking part of your route to work or getting off public transit a stop early. Even small habits, like pacing while talking on the phone or doing light chores like washing dishes by hand, add up. The goal is to accumulate movement throughout the day, treating it as a natural part of life rather than a chore. Each step you take is a deposit in your health bank, building a foundation for long-term vitality without requiring extreme effort or specialized equipment. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 2. They follow the 80% rule. The second defining trait of centenarians is their approach to eating, which combines mindful moderation with a nutrient-rich, predominantly plant-based diet. At the heart of this practice is the Okinawan principle of hara hachi bu, which translates to eat until you are 80% full. This cultural guideline, observed in Okinawa, one of the world's blue zones with an exceptionally high number of centenarians, encourages individuals to stop eating when they feel satisfied but not stuffed, leaving a small buffer that prevents overeating. This isn't about rigid calorie counting or restrictive diets. It's a mindful, intuitive practice that respects the body's natural signals and promotes metabolic balance. In practice, hara hachi bu involves eating slowly, savoring each bite, and pausing to assess hunger levels before continuing. Okinawan elders often dine in a calm, unhurried setting, which allows their brains to register satiety, a process that can take about 20 minutes. By stopping at 80% full, centenarians naturally limit their calorie intake, reducing strain on their digestive system and minimizing the risk of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. A 2020 study in Nature Communications found that moderate caloric restriction, like that achieved through hara hachi bu, can improve metabolic health, reduce inflammation, and even slow the aging process at a cellular level by decreasing oxidative stress and enhancing DNA repair mechanisms. Beyond portion control, centenarians' diets are overwhelmingly plant-based, featuring a colorful array of vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and healthy fats. In Okinawa, meals often include sweet potatoes, tofu, seaweed, and bitter greens like goya, which are rich in antioxidants, fiber, and essential micronutrients. In Sardinia, minestrone packed with beans, vegetables, and olive oil is a staple, while in Ikaria, wild greens, lentils, and small portions of fish or goat cheese dominate the table. In Nicoya, corn tortillas, beans, and tropical fruits like papaya are dietary cornerstones. Even in Loma Linda, where Seventh-day Adventists follow a vegetarian or vegan diet, meals emphasize nuts, seeds, whole grains, and fresh produce. Meat, when consumed, is typically a small side dish or reserved for special occasions, not the main event. This plant-heavy approach provides a wealth of health benefits. A 2021 meta-analysis in the British Medical Journal found that plant-based diets are associated with a 14% lower risk of heart disease, a 27% lower risk of diabetes, and a reduced incidence of certain cancers. The high fiber content supports gut health, feeding beneficial microbiota that influence everything from immunity to mood. Antioxidants from vegetables and fruits combat free radicals, protecting cells from damage, while healthy fats like olive oil, common in Ikaria and Sardinia, support heart health and reduce inflammation. The low consumption of processed foods and refined sugars further protects centenarians from the metabolic havoc that contributes to chronic disease. Culturally, meals in blue zones are often social and ritualistic, eaten with family or friends in a relaxed setting. This not only enhances emotional well-being but also reinforces mindful eating habits, as conversation and connection slow down the pace of meals. In contrast, modern eating habits, rushed meals, oversized portions, and processed foods, can lead to overeating and poor nutrition, undermining long-term health. Your action step: to adopt the hara hachi bu principle, begin by eating more mindfully. Set aside distractions like phones or TV during meals, and focus on the sensory experience of eating: taste, texture, and aroma. Chew slowly, putting your fork down between bites, and pause midway through your meal to ask yourself, "Am I satisfied?" rather than, "Am I full?" This subtle shift can help you recognize satiety before you overeat. To make this easier, serve smaller portions initially and wait 10 to 15 minutes before deciding if you need more. Eating from smaller plates can also trick your brain into feeling satisfied with less. Simultaneously, shift your diet toward plant-based foods by making vegetables, legumes, and whole grains the foundation of your meals. Experiment with blue zone-inspired recipes, like an Okinawan stir-fry with tofu, seaweed, and bitter melon, or a Sardinian minestrone packed with beans, kale, and tomatoes drizzled with olive oil. Incorporate at least one meatless meal per week, gradually increasing as you discover new dishes. For snacks, choose nuts, seeds, or fresh fruit over processed options like chips or cookies. If you eat meat, treat it as a condiment. Use small amounts to flavor plant-based dishes rather than making it the centerpiece. Over time, these changes can recalibrate your eating habits, reduce calorie overload, and align your diet with the longevity-promoting practices of centenarians. By weaving natural movement and mindful plant-based eating into your life, you can emulate the habits of the world's longest-lived people, building a sustainable path to health and vitality that endures for decades. 3. They nurture their social circle. One of the most profound and consistent traits observed among individuals who live long, healthy, and deeply fulfilling lives is their unwavering dedication to cultivating and sustaining robust, meaningful social connections. The Harvard Study of Adult Development, a landmark research project that has followed two distinct groups, Harvard graduates and inner-city Boston residents, for over 80 years, provides some of the most compelling evidence on this front. This study, one of the longest-running investigations into human well-being, has demonstrated that strong interpersonal relationships are not only the single greatest predictor of happiness but also a critical determinant of longevity and overall health. Participants with deep social ties, whether with family, friends, or community members, consistently reported higher life satisfaction, experienced lower rates of chronic illnesses, and lived significantly longer than those who were socially isolated. The data is both striking and sobering. According to the Harvard study, individuals with strong social networks have a 50% higher likelihood of survival over a given period compared to those with weaker connections. This protective effect stems from multiple mechanisms. Social bonds reduce stress by lowering cortisol levels, decrease systemic inflammation, and bolster immune function, all of which contribute to a reduced risk of conditions like cardiovascular disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. Socially connected individuals also exhibit sharper cognitive function and a lower risk of dementia as they age, with research from the Journal of Neurology indicating that active social engagement can delay the onset of cognitive decline by years. Conversely, loneliness and social isolation are as detrimental to health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day or being obese, according to a meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine. Chronic loneliness elevates blood pressure, disrupts sleep, and increases the risk of depression, anxiety, and even premature mortality. What distinguishes long-lived individuals, particularly those in blue zones like Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, and Ikaria, Greece, is their intentional and proactive approach to relationships. These communities weave social connection into the fabric of daily life, prioritizing face-to-face interactions over superficial or digital exchanges. For example, in Sardinia, villagers gather regularly for communal meals, storytelling, or religious festivals, reinforcing bonds that provide emotional and practical support. In Okinawa, the tradition of moai, small, tight-knit groups of lifelong friends, ensures that individuals have a built-in support system for life's ups and downs. These practices aren't just cultural quirks. They reflect a deep understanding that relationships are a cornerstone of well-being. Long-lived individuals don't leave their social lives to chance. They actively nurture their connections through regular check-ins, shared activities, and mutual support. They prioritize quality over quantity, focusing on relationships that are reciprocal, emotionally enriching, and aligned with their values. They also tend to surround themselves with people who encourage healthy behaviors, such as eating well, staying active, or managing stress, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances their physical and mental health. Importantly, these individuals don't rely heavily on digital communication like texting or social media, which can lack the depth of in-person interaction. Instead, they seek out opportunities for meaningful engagement, whether through a heartfelt conversation over coffee, a shared hobby, or a community project. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, building such a social circle requires deliberate effort. The rise of social media and remote communication has made it easier to stay in touch but harder to forge deep, authentic connections. Long-lived individuals model behaviors like calling a friend to catch up, hosting gatherings, or participating in group activities that foster trust and camaraderie. They also embrace vulnerability, sharing their joys and struggles with trusted confidants, which strengthens emotional bonds and fosters resilience. Your action steps. To emulate the social habits of the world's longest-lived people, take intentional steps to build and maintain a vibrant social network. Start by identifying the key relationships in your life. Friends, family members, or colleagues who uplift and support you, and make a conscious effort to deepen those connections. Instead of sending a quick text or email, pick up the phone to call a friend or arrange an in-person meetup, as voice-to-voice or face-to-face interactions foster greater emotional intimacy. Schedule regular, recurring activities to ensure consistent connection, such as a weekly coffee date, a monthly game night, or a standing invitation for a group hike or dinner. These rituals create a rhythm of connection that strengthens bonds over time. If your social circle feels limited, seek out new opportunities to connect with others. Join a local organization, such as a book club, fitness class, religious community, or volunteer group, where you can meet people who share your interests or values. Volunteering, in particular, is a powerful way to build connections while contributing to a cause you care about, aligning with the sense of purpose discussed below. Be proactive in nurturing high-quality relationships, those that are supportive, reciprocal, and emotionally fulfilling, by checking in regularly, celebrating milestones together, and offering support during tough times. If you're hesitant to reach out, start small. Invite a colleague for a walk, reconnect with an old friend, or attend a community event. Over time, these efforts will compound, creating a robust social network that not only enriches your life but also serves as a powerful buffer against stress and a foundation for long-term health and happiness. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. For they prioritize quality sleep. Among the world's longest-lived populations, particularly in blue zones like Sardinia, Italy, Okinawa, Japan, and Loma Linda, California, a profound respect for high-quality sleep stands out as a universal habit. These centenarians and their communities treat sleep as a sacred, non-negotiable pillar of health, typically achieving 7 to 8 hours of restorative rest each night. This isn't merely a cultural tradition but a reflection of a deep, instinctive understanding of sleep's role as a biological necessity. During sleep, the body and brain undergo essential processes of repair, recovery, and regulation that are critical for physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Sleep is when the brain consolidates memories, processes emotional experiences, and clears out metabolic waste through the lymphatic system, a process that may reduce the risk of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. The body, meanwhile, repairs tissues, regulates hormones like insulin, cortisol, and growth hormone, and strengthens the immune system to fight off infections and inflammation. Research from the National Institutes of Health and other leading institutions underscores that consistent, high-quality sleep, 7 to 9 hours for most adults, is associated with a lower risk of chronic conditions, including cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and certain cancers. Sleep also plays a pivotal role in mental health, helping to regulate mood, reduce anxiety, and prevent depression. For example, a study in Sleep Medicine Reviews found that individuals who consistently get adequate sleep are 30% less likely to develop depression compared to those with chronic sleep deprivation. For older adults, sleep becomes even more critical, as age-related changes, such as reduced melatonin production, shifts in circadian rhythms, and increased sensitivity to environmental disruptions, can make it harder to achieve deep, restorative rest. Poor sleep in later life is linked to a host of issues, including cognitive decline, memory impairment, and an increased risk of falls and injuries. Yet, in blue zones, older adults maintain sleep as a priority, often aligning their rest with natural circadian rhythms by going to bed shortly after sunset and waking with the sunrise. They also create environments and routines that promote relaxation, such as avoiding stimulants like caffeine in the afternoon and maintaining consistent sleep schedules. Modern lifestyles, however, often undermine sleep. Exposure to blue light from screens, phones, tablets, TVs, and computers suppresses melatonin production, delaying sleep onset and reducing sleep quality. Irregular schedules, chronic stress, and poor sleep environments, e.g., noisy or overly warm bedrooms, further exacerbate the problem. Many people also underestimate the impact of lifestyle factors like late-night caffeine, alcohol, or heavy meals, all of which can disrupt sleep architecture and prevent the body from cycling through essential stages like deep sleep and REM. Your action steps. To adopt the sleep habits of the world's longest-lived individuals, commit to a comprehensive approach to improving your sleep hygiene. Begin by establishing a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, to regulate your body's internal clock. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep, adjusting based on what feels restorative for you. Create a relaxing pre-sleep routine to signal to your body that it's time to wind down. Turn off all screens at least 1 hour before bed to avoid blue light interference, which can delay melatonin production by up to 3 hours. Instead, engage in calming activities like reading a physical book, practicing gentle stretching or yoga, journaling, or listening to soothing music, a podcast, or a guided meditation. Optimize your sleep environment to enhance rest. Keep your bedroom cool, ideally 60 to 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Dark, use blackout curtains or an eye mask. And quiet, consider earplugs or a white noise machine if you live in a noisy area. Invest in a comfortable mattress and pillows that support your body's alignment, and choose breathable bedding to regulate temperature. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and heavy or spicy meals in the evening, as these can disrupt sleep by stimulating the nervous system or causing digestive discomfort. If stress or racing thoughts keep you awake, try relaxation techniques like deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, or writing down your worries in a journal to clear your mind. For those with persistent sleep challenges, consider consulting a healthcare provider to rule out conditions like insomnia or sleep apnea. By prioritizing sleep, you're giving your body and brain the tools they need to repair, recharge, and thrive, setting the stage for a longer, healthier life. 5. Centenarians share an unwavering sense of purpose. Perhaps the most inspiring and universal trait of centenarians is their profound sense of purpose, a driving force that infuses their lives with meaning, direction, and resilience. In Okinawa, Japan, this concept is beautifully captured in the term ikigai, which translates to a reason for being, or a reason to wake up in the morning. For some, this purpose is rooted in family, caring for children, nurturing grandchildren, or preserving family traditions. For others, it might involve mastering a craft, such as painting, pottery, or gardening, or contributing to the community through volunteering, mentoring, or advocacy. Regardless of its form, this sense of purpose provides centenarians with a compelling reason to stay active, engaged, and connected to the world, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. The science behind purpose is robust and compelling. Research from the Blue Zones Project, as well as longitudinal studies published in journals like The Lancet and Psychosomatic Medicine, shows that individuals with a strong sense of purpose have a 15 to 20% lower risk of mortality over a given period compared to those without. Purpose is also a powerful protector of mental and cognitive health. A study from the Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center found that people with high levels of purpose were 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease and exhibited slower rates of cognitive decline. Purposeful individuals also report lower levels of depression and anxiety, as well as better stress management, as their sense of meaning provides a psychological anchor during difficult times. Purpose doesn't have to be grandiose or world-changing. It can be deeply personal and seemingly small. In Blue Zones, purpose is often woven into daily life through cultural practices. For example, in Okinawa, older adults are revered for their wisdom and often serve as mentors or storytellers, passing down traditions and knowledge to younger generations. In Sardinia, many centenarians find purpose in maintaining family vineyards or preparing traditional meals, activities that connect them to their heritage and community. These roles not only give them a sense of value but also keep them physically and mentally active, reinforcing healthy habits like regular movement and social engagement. The benefits of purpose extend beyond the individual. Purposeful people tend to inspire those around them, creating a ripple effect of positivity and connection. They also adopt healthier behaviors, such as eating nutritious foods, staying physically active, and seeking social support, because their sense of purpose motivates them to take care of themselves. However, finding and sustaining purpose is a deeply personal journey that requires introspection, experimentation, and openness to change. In modern life, where distractions and obligations can obscure what truly matters, carving out time to discover your purpose is both a challenge and an opportunity. Your action steps. To cultivate a sense of purpose, begin with self-reflection to uncover what gives your life meaning. Set aside quiet time to ask yourself probing questions. What activities make me feel most alive and fulfilled? What do I want to contribute to my family, community, or the world? What legacy do I hope to leave behind? Journaling can be a powerful tool. Write about moments when you felt deeply engaged or impactful, or list the values and passions that matter most to you. If you're unsure of your purpose, experiment with new experiences to spark inspiration. Volunteer for a cause that resonates with you, such as environmental conservation, education, or animal welfare. Take a class in a subject you've always wanted to explore, whether it's painting, writing, or cooking. Reconnect with a hobby or interest you've neglected, like gardening or playing an instrument. Engage in conversations with trusted friends, family, or mentors to gain perspective on your strengths and how you can make a difference. If you already have a sense of purpose, integrate it into your daily life through small, consistent actions. Whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, mentoring a younger colleague, or working on a creative project. Break your purpose into actionable goals. For example, if your purpose involves teaching, commit to sharing one skill or lesson each week. If it's about community, organize a monthly gathering or volunteer regularly. Be open to your purpose evolving, as life circumstances and priorities shift. For instance, a purpose rooted in parenting may transition to mentoring or community leadership as children grow. By living with purpose, you'll not only enhance your own health and happiness but also create a positive impact on those around you, fostering a legacy of meaning and connection that can endure for generations. So there you have it, the 5 key habits that can help you live past 100. Move naturally, eat until you're 80% full, nurture strong social connections, prioritize quality sleep, and live with purpose. What have you learned from these powerful insights? Which one of these habits are you excited to bring into your life? Drop a comment below this video and share one thing you've learned and plan to practice to invest in your future self. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content to help you thrive.